Hi guys, Mitchell here, Mitchell, Minnesota. Welcome back to my channel. Today is my week 18 post-op video for my revision from lap band to gastric bypass RNY. So if that interests you, then stick around. Okay guys, I am not gonna lie, I am so tired. I apologize, today is Wednesday. I usually get my videos up on Tuesday. I have been so booked with visits and meetings and stuff like that. I'm tired all the time. I mean, you know that I yawn in my videos all the time, so I'm always like, I work full time. I am in my doctoral program. I just got a lot going on, and you can probably tell I just got out of the shower moments before I started filming this. But yeah, so getting to the point of the video, my week 18 gastric bypass. I had revision surgery from lap band to gastric bypass Roux-en-Y or RNY on August 7th, 2018 at St. Joseph's Hospital here in St. Paul, Minnesota. My doctor was Dr. Jeffrey Fazen. My highest weight was 273 pounds. My surgery day weight was 260 pounds, and last week I came to at 221.4, and today, as of this morning, I am at 222.4, so that is a 1 pound gain, and that's frustrating. It is very frustrating. I think I know where it came from, and I'm not happy with myself in that last week my husband brought home we have this movie theater that we love, and sometimes we'll watch movies at home and he will go get popcorn, and he got caramel corn. So they make like their own caramel corn. It's so good, you guys. It is the best. And so like he brought home this fresh caramel corn, and I did have some, not enough to dump. I just had some, but the problem laid, this was Friday, it was still there Saturday, it was still there Sunday, and like, so I would nibble on it, and I think I had some chips. I did not eat well this weekend, and I fully admit that. I fully admit to not, granted, I don't believe that a couple days off the rails is going to make you gain a pound. That's sustaining. I think that there's some water, drinking water, keeping my fluids up, also has to do with it. But I definitely take ownership for falling off the rails a little bit in the last week, and it's already gotten better. Today's Wednesday. That caramel corn went out in the garbage again. You've probably seen it on a lot of my videos. If I actively admit I cannot trust myself around sugar. I can't do it. Sugar or chips, but mostly sugar. I'm a sugarholic, and I can't do moderation in that way right now. If I could, I wouldn't have the problems that I have. I also, sugar doesn't, or like popcorn and cookies and pies and like that stuff, that's not dense enough to make me feel full. So I don't feel full with that stuff. I guess that's a lie. I do occasionally, I do feel full. That's actually a fib. But at the same time, it's really frustrating. And I'm also doing, like, for my Vlogmas videos, I'm making this Norwegian dessert called kransekake, and it's almonds and confectioner sugar and egg whites, and you bake it in these rings. And I did it just regular without like Splenda baking or anything like that. And I had some of that, and it's like, okay, this is where I lose control. Just little bits and pieces here and there come together to win a really big prize, and the prize is, cool, you overate. I even dumped twice in the same days, you guys. This was Sunday, I think. I don't even remember what I was eating. It was a caramel corn, yeah. I had about 2 handfuls of the caramel corn, which, keep in mind, before surgery I would have the whole bucket. So, I mean, that's a perspective to keep. But then I didn't feel very good, had to go lay down. And I got up, and a little bit later I had dinner, and it was turkey with cheese, but I think anything was too sensitive at that point, so it brought me back down again. So I'm not at a loss for words, but I also want to be completely transparent because it is really important for me to have this, to know that, yeah, I have a 1 pound gain, and it may not even be the same tomorrow, it may be less, I don't know. I know that VSG Joe and I were competing to see who could stay in the 220s the longest, and he made it out of the 220s, so congratulations to him. You should totally check out his channel, it's amazing. And I am still in the 220s. I definitely took about a day, and I was really mad at myself because I'm like, why did you do this surgery? Why did you do it if you were going to do that? And I have to kind of look at it from a different perspective because it's a part of the game. I live in the real world. I'm a real person. I have not had a sip of liquor. I have not had a bite of bread. I have not had a bite of pasta. I have not had a bite of rice. I have not had any pop. I have not had caffeine. So I have to remind myself that I'm doing good for the most part. Those are all vices that I would indulge in quite often before surgery. So it's slow goings and it's rough goings because like I have some kransekake or I have some caramel corn and I can't stop. What I have noticed though, and I don't know if that's the same for you guys, is in my what I eat in a day video that I just posted, I'm pretty sure I showed you the Planters honey roasted nuts that I have in my car for like, there's the yawning, when I need like a quick snack or something in between stuff. I finally know what it feels like to be actually hungry. It's not a good feeling, I don't like it. But a few of those will do it. And I know that I'm hungry as well because like they wouldn't be my go-to snack, these honey roasted peanuts, especially because I've had them for so long. Like, I'm not into it. I know when I'm hungry because it will have been a few hours between my last meal and the peanuts sound really good. So I know that's a way for me to trigger, oh, is that boredom hunger? Is that head hunger? Is it just the fact that you haven't actually physically been chewing on something for a while? Or are you actually hungry and need, a handful of peanuts to kind of get you through until the next? And lo and behold, today, I was like, oh, I'm hungry. It was 4. And I had a small chili at noon. So you look at the difference. 4 hours is a long time to, at least in my head, 4 hours, I try to, but anyway. So that's kind of my trigger. I am obsessed, you guys, with the oats that I bought, the oats that I showed you in the video a couple days ago, the What I Eat in a Day video. They're just regular, they're oats or whatever. And I know Jess Cake said there's some really great ones at Trader Joe's, so check those out too. I'm gonna check those out. But these, it's just like wheat, red barley, and oats, whatever. I put a 1/3 cup in one of my, I have these little Christmas paper cups that I bought at Target last year that I'm just trying to use up. So I'll put 1/3 cup in, I put my kettle on, put 3/4 of a cup in there, a Splenda, and a dash of salt and some cinnamon. I know little Kansas Kitty, I think she adds like raisins and like maybe like dried cranberries. Ooh. And she'll have them. I put the lid on, like the little coffee lid, because they're little coffee cups really, and then I just let it soak it up while I'm getting dressed, doing the thing. It is so good. Not only is it good, it fuels me through the mornings really well. And I think that's because of the carbs. Like, the carbs are really, it's 28 grams of carbs in that 1/3 cup. So it's quote-unquote a lot. Granted, it's all relative. I never used to pay attention to carbs. I'm 30, 29 years, and some odd months I never paid attention to carbs. So, but it definitely, like, I feel really good in the mornings when I have it. I feel alert. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm still, you know, we're 4 months and some change out from surgery, and I still get really tired in the afternoons. I'm still I don't like to admit this, but I am kind of cranky in the afternoons sometimes. Between like 1 and 4, there's gonna be some times when I'm like, I feel lethargic. I don't feel like doing anything. Like, everything seems like a chore. I don't want to get into the habit of taking naps though, because then I can't sleep at night. And my job is pretty early to rise. I meet the needs of the families that I serve, so I try to be available as often as possible and as early and as late as, well, mostly as early as possible, because that's when I'm my most alert. But I don't know if that works for you guys too, like those carbs right in the morning, a little sweet, little something. In fact, I may have oats for dinner tonight because I am not feeling anything else. At 4, I had my Premier Protein. Well, let me tell you what I had today. So I had my oats in the morning, some water, small chili from Wendy's with a couple crackers. At 11:30 noon, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I had some peanuts and my Premier Protein, probably a handful, maybe a little bit more of peanuts and my Premier Protein. And then, you know, we're going on 7 o'clock now, 7:30 maybe. And I'm not really quite hungry yet, but I am going to eat because, as my surgeon says, like, even when you're not hungry, you need to eat at certain times, because if you don't, you'll be chasing hunger, and I don't want to be chasing hunger, especially because a lot of times I'm working on reports or doing stuff in bed on my laptop, and then, like, that's a danger zone for me. Nighttime is a really rough time for me when it comes to eating. And I think I've noticed too that it will become rote in my memory, and like, I think I'll get to a place where I'm comfortable enough to make this routine, but I guarantee, I know this, I will always struggle with food. I have a food addiction, and I will always have a food addiction, and I'm okay with that. I get frustrated and jealous of other people, or like, you know, everybody has that friend that can eat whatever they want and they're just thin as a post and, you know, gorgeous. Everybody has their own journey, and I have to remember that, you know, I'm so proud of so many of you who have done such amazing things. And then I get like, why didn't I lose 3 pounds this week? Why didn't I lose 5 pounds this week? It's so silly because it's not a race. And I can actually say I'm genuinely happy and thrilled for you guys out there who are losing, but I'm also very thankful to see that when you've gained as well, you put that on here so we can all share in that together. And that, no, the fact that I'm a pound up from last week is something that you go through. It's not a stall. I'm not the same weight that I was last week. I am more. I'm a pound more, and that's okay. I think the old, before surgery me, even with the lap band, I would have been like, screw it. It's not working. It's not going to be anything that I can do. So I would just stop. And that's the attitude I've had forever. And maybe some of you can agree to that too, that you've been that way too. But as I've said in my videos, like my pre-surgery videos, this is forever. This is here to stay. My lap band was easily removed. My gastric bypass, not so much. So I know that weight gain and fluctuations are part of it. That doesn't make it any less palpable. It doesn't make it any less easy to take in. I'm trying my darndest to find what works for me as a person to eat and what to be comfortable with. I think that eating many types of foods, trying new things all the time, switching it up, kind of like, isn't it P90X, the exercise where like every day you try something different so your body doesn't get used to it? I think that's what we need to do with food, or at least me, that's what I need to do with food, is to try something different all the time so that my body doesn't know, so I can keep processing things and going through the motions. I'm not mad at myself anymore. I was, but it's like, that's not the type of attitude to have either. Like, oh, you gained a pound. Okay, fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I got right back on the horse. Now, I mean, we all have pitfalls, and my pitfalls are idle time and comfort and things like that. I needed to be super hyper aware of it. Oh, excuse me. I was proud of myself last night. I just had for dinner, I wasn't too terribly hungry, so I had some spinach with this wonderful cheese. It was less than a gram of carbs and no sugar and 10 grams of fat, so it was a good fat, and I was perfectly content with that. Again, I'm not making an excuse for myself that I screwed up. I think it's okay. It's not okay, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it because it's nothing. It's already happened. It's done. I'm proud of myself that I took the reins back earlier than I ever would have. I never would have even pulled in the reins before. So it's all about evolution and growth. And 4 months is a long time, yes, but 4 months isn't that long of a time in the grand sense. It's a third of a year. So, 33% of a year I've had this, and even longer prepping for it. I'm also incredibly thankful that I had the opportunity to have this surgery. And I think that gets me too, because I see people who haven't had the ability to afford this surgery. They haven't been able to, their insurance wouldn't cover it or anything like that. So it's something that I'm really proud of myself for being. My husband's walking into the kitchen. This is very awkward. What was I saying? Yeah, there's people who don't have the resources to have this surgery, so I am very thankful for that. And I think a 1 pound gain is just a par for the course. He's making... Stop. I'm trying to be serious. But yeah. So I think, hold on. Sorry, my husband is being a silly goose. All that aside, so I've done my penance. I've confessed to my sins of the caramel corn of last weekend, and now I'm ready to move forward. I'm very excited though for our Secret Santa that we're doing with some of us in the weight loss community. I think that's really fun. I sent my persons out today, so I'm very excited for them to get it. It's kind of a fun time of year, and I think that there's other ways to be creative and get your holiday stuff out there that doesn't relate to food. Last year at this time I was baking a lot of stuff, and it's so easy to fall into those pitfalls that we all fall into. So it's just a really good idea to not. So I haven't necessarily been doing that. And there's ways to take what you like and to make it kind of your own, and to do it in a way that is not necessarily healthier, but like Little Kansas Kitty had a great example of it. She went to like a party, like a holiday party, and she had a little bit of a drink. I think that's fantastic. You can enjoy and not fall off the wagon in whatever it is that vice is part of food. So I'm gonna do that. I've got some Christmas parties coming up with my husband's work party, and then I get together with my work, and I'm desperately trying to keep it together. These are from really Halloween until the New Year. It's a really hard time as far as temptation is concerned. I mean, gosh, you go to Target and like there's always candy there, but it's like, oh, limited time. Oh, the packaging is so Christmassy. I want it. And I want to eat it all. And it's hard. There's a reason that we were heavy. There's a reason that we decided to go through with this surgery. There's a reason that we were cleared for it, and it wasn't okay, try again on these paths, because we've all tried these paths before. So yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of leave it there. Kind of a bitter note for the week, but also hopeful because I'm continuing on. This is forever. It's continued. It's not something that I'm going to dwell upon. I'm proud of where I've gotten thus far. I mean, I'm 51% to my goal. I've lost 51 pounds. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm thankful for my skin starting to be a little bit looser, because that means that the fat is going away, and we're all doing it. and like I've said, and I will keep saying it, I am so proud of every single one of you that post your videos and you talk about your losses and you talk about your gains and you talk about your cheat days or when you lost control, because we can all get on here and create a picture of ourselves because we only see what we want. We only show people what we want them to see, right? But the honesty and integrity is in the pitfalls. It is in the trapdoors that we fall into, because we all fall into it. To say that all of us are perfect or that any of us is perfect is a lie. We all have these pitfalls. So I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you. And besides my own motivation for myself, you guys are my motivation to continue to try to do my best. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, guys. I'm going to go take a little rest on the couch and maybe not wake up till morning. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.